Good morning, Internet. I am Sebastian Piccione, and this is FFFIC, filmed on behalf of Invest Comics here in the back of Famous Faces and Funnies, giving us a little bit of and a little bit of ick and a whole lot of me. Meh. Alright, we got a not so intimidating stack, so who knows? Maybe I can end this without you having to be here past your unborn child's college graduation this time. Alright, let's start out with Green Hornet number 8. Mark Waid. It's like, I'm going to call it a Christmas special. It's not Christmas. It's nothing Christmassy. But it does have orphans in trouble being rescued by our heroes. And to an extent, rescuing our heroes. But mostly it's our heroes rescuing them. There's a lot of rescuing. But as luck would have it, the reason I say that makes it seasonal is, let's face it, all the old black and white Christmas movies always have orphans. There's always something about orphans just makes things Christmassy. But it's good. It's one of those perfect standalone, so if you haven't been reading this, you can jump in, get a feel for the thing, and then, you know, boom, you can be off and running. And if you have been reading it, they still mention some of the overreaching plot lines that they're doing. And it's, you know, so it's a little bit, it's the best of, it's a continuation, it's a jumping on point, it's a theme done in one, it's everything. Alright. Red Sonja number 6. Gail Simone's Red Sonja has been so good. Look at that serious face as I contemplate that sword there. It's a gorgeous cover. It's a gorgeous cover. This book has been so good. This wraps up the plague storyline they've been doing. It ends as well as you can imagine. There's death on multiple levels. There's sadness and bittersweet victories. It's so well done. And then, you know, there's the promise of alcohol to come. Because it's Sonja, bitches. And it's just great. I love it. Action number 4. I don't know if I told you guys this, but it took me till issue 2 to realize, it might have even been issue 3, I don't know. For some reason it seems like I've read more of these than 4. That Codename Action is, you know, the Captain Action figure. Because, I don't know why, really. I'm slow, I guess. But, as I've said before, this very James Bond-esque, very super spy. There's a Catwoman-esque chick in this one. You've got superheroes crossing over. It's very... You don't have to read anything else to read these, but if you do read some of the other Dynamite books, it kind of blends in and kind of gives it a shared universe feel, which is nice, because Dynamite gets a property and they kind of do, like, you know, 7 different time periods and 7 different realities and a couple different standalones, and, you know, I never really know if there's one world where all of this is happening or if there's just a whole bunch of things. So it's nice when you have kind of a larger backdrop to work with. Robotech Voltron. It's Robotech meets Voltron. Do I need to review this for you? I don't think I do. The art is gorgeous. The story does justice to both properties. I'm going to say it does justice. I'm going to say it does justice to both properties. I'm going to say that more confidently about the Voltron aspects, because I remember Voltron better than I remember Robotech. I don't know why. I watched more Voltron than Robotech as a child, I guess, as a wee lad. This is very Robotech heavy, though. So there was a lot of stuff that I was like, oh, it's these guys. But the art is really good, and it's by Art and Letters by Digital Art Chef's Team. So just because they're called Digital Art Chef's Team, I'm already in love with everything. That's that. Alright, we read Krampus the other week. Now we got Ghostbusters Happy Horror Days Part 3 versus Sinterklaas. And they come up with a brilliant explanation. Until you get lines that say, there you go, I'm hoping right to it. I just knew. Winston Zedmore saying, you saying that small Santas turn into boogeymen when they die? Well, maybe not all of them. It's still a new area of study. So yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Mall Santas become boogeymen of sorts when they die. So that is that as information goes. Art and story in this is always gorgeous and fun because it is. Bloodshot and hardcore with yet another death in the hardcore. That hardcore changes faster than Menudo. Wow, I dated myself.
Yeah, you did.
Doesn't Menudo mean change? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I think Menudo with cyber implant superpowers working with Bloodshot. I'd read that book. I'm just saying I would. Sangria shot. I'd read that book too. Whole separate book, but it's really really good. We get a death in there. We get the conclusion to the do I don't I have my do I don't I get my nanites back. Basically, with the exception of Unity, where he's a pseudo hero because he gets to take on Exo, who is an usurper of countries, from certain standpoints. Harada's just a dick in every book. I mean, he's a dick in that, but he at least gets to be the lead. He's just like an asshole bad guy. He's like a Lex Luthor that, just comes out and goes, yeah, fuck you, I'm an ass. Whereas Lex Luthor, he doesn't have quite the extravagant, I'm right. He believes he's right, but he doesn't need to repeat it as maniacally. He's just, confident. All right, but really, really good. It's Christos Gage, so I liked it. Daredevil, the man without fear, number 34. It's gonna be ending soon. Replaced by Digital Daredevil, the man without fear, by the same people. And then it'll come back as a comic book called Daredevil with the same people, but $1 more. Except this issue's already $1 more. So it's like a preview of the dollar payments. But it's great. And this one's not $1 more. I lied. This is $2.99. I've loved this book from the start. I am sad that I will not read the digital until they print it in some form of printed format because my eyes are crap. I am colorblind. I have a cyst in my brain. I am photosensitive. Reading things digitally just really gives me a headache. So I have my own separate argument from the, print is dead, long live the digital. The two can coexist side by side. Digital will replace everything. Print will always have a... Digital hurts me, like actually physically, not like I would read it. It's not a complaint. I would have no problem. Really, I can read this on my HD comic books. Yeah, oh yeah, I would do that. But it actually causes me physical pain. So give me the printed version, and I will read it. But anyway, for this particular issue, so good. Kristen, whatever the hell her name is, the DA that's now working with them while Foggy's going through his cancerousness. She had some badass moments with a microphone of all things. They reach a new level in their relationship with with Matt, and as he puts it, that game we play. Yeah, we're not playing that anymore. And it's like, what? But it's Mark Waid. He can write a serious, heavy plot that's still fun and funny and sad and somber, and he just does everything. He just does everything. Mark Waid does everything. Amazing Spider-Man. Why is there one of these when there should be two? Here's the other one. Amazing Spider-Man 700.4 and 700.5. I haven't seen a solicit for the trade, but I want it because I want to own them as a trade. Because I already let them sell my other copies because they were out and they needed more. But now there's no trade and I don't have any. Damn you, Marvel. These are really, really good. The obligatory backups, I don't know if this was like, editorial mandate or what, but the backups always seem to be sad, touching story involving a kid. A kid with bullying issues, and we know Peter doesn't like bullies because, hello, he's Peter Parker. Kid who plays hero and is hurt, and then some, as a result of, getting involved in a Spider-Man, some Spider-Man heroics. So more guilt for the great responsibility thing. These have been really good. It's been great having Peter back. I mean, don't get me wrong. Where is he? He's in here somewhere. Some other spiders. Oh, there's a Scarlet Spider. That's not the spider I'm looking for. Oh, Superior Spider-Man. I like Superior Spider-Man. I love Peter Parker. These have been really good stories. I love Peter Parker. So yeah, this wraps up the Byrne story. He's been burned and is in. The heroes have their own hospital. The villains have one too. It's not as nice because it's for villains, but Peter's a hero even when you're trying to kill him because he's Peter Parker and all that. So these are really well done, a lot better than they should have been, and because I really just expected just some nonsense throwaway, shut the whiners up. You know, here's you want Peter Parker? Here, you can have 5 issues. Suck it. And you're like, what? But I want Peter Parker. But no, these are actually really, really well done. Superior Spider-Man becomes Superior Venom, becomes Superior Pain in the Ass, becomes superiorly gonna get, the Avengers involved. I both like and don't like Humberto Ramos, like on the same page. I don't understand how, in the same page, I can both be like, that's awesome, what the hell? So I guess I have very mixed emotions. With Humberto, I always have with Humberto Ramos. On certain books, I think he's the perfect fit. On other books, I think he's completely wrong. And on this one, I think he's completely both. And I don't know how that can happen. But it does. And clearly, I'm just indecisive. But the story's good. Like I said, the Superior Spider-Man stories have been great. And they've opened up, I'll say this did what they wanted to do with Brand New Day. In so much as Brand New Day, I'm calling bullshit. We can't write any exciting Peter Parker stories while he's married. We can't. It defeats it defeats the whole point of the character was that he was an underdog. And to have him married to a supermodel that loves him, that's not an underdog. Nobody wants to read about a happy ending for the character. No, bullshit. The first 2 years of Brand New Day stories, there were maybe 2 things you couldn't have done original, and both of those 2 things involved crappy Peter Parker on a date stories. All right, but everything else could have been done perfectly well the old way, and they just changed it to say, eh. And then while they're saying, especially what they were saying, oh, we're changing it to get onto to get back to the core of what they, and then they changed the character so 100% completely proves that their reasons for the change were bullshit. But this change, they have actually been able to do. There are things here you could never do with Peter Parker Spider-Man. You just can't. I find myself rooting for Doc Ock because, he stands by, forget the memories and what, how it affected him. He stands by, if nothing else, his word. He gave, everything gets back to, at least, once an issue, sometimes more. In this and in Superior Spider-Man Team Up. At least once an issue, he will say, I promised Peter Parker that there would be a Spider-Man. I promised him I would do this. And he lives up to that, or tries to. No matter how wrong or off course he goes, he tries to live up to that. So no matter what the false, no matter, if you want to get all Machiavellian of ends justifying means, yes, everything he did was evil and villainous to get to where he is, but he's standing by that word, and he is a hero, not the hero Peter was, but they're able to do things that they could not have done. So this is the change they were talking about doing the first time, and they got it right. It's a change I was horribly opposed to, and have loved ever since they've done it. So, you slide me over a plate full of crow, and I'll eat that shit. My crow is delicious. Sprinkle some more of my words on it. I'm going to eat those. And I'll just swallow that down with a big glass of pride. Because this has been great. I miss Peter. I want Peter back. In the current Marvel Universe where you have X-Men, little Cyclops, current Cyclops standing next to each other, I don't see why you can't have both Spider-Men. Just do it. Because I don't necessarily want this to go away. This was really good. and especially everything, especially everything I just said about Doc Ock's motives in Superior Spider-Man Team Up #8. He's actually ready to call it quits. He's even I'm gonna go to the Avengers and confess who I am and just give it all in because I'm fucking up and I promise to be a hero and I'm screwing it all up and making things worse. And they need, He even starts to say, I don't know if he was thinking along the lines of maybe the Avengers can find a way to reverse it and but he starts to say, perhaps Stark or Pym or Richards can find a way to. And then his spider sense goes off. So I think he was even ready to go, look, I'll tell them, because he said, I'll tell them I'm Doc Ock, I'll tell them what happened, and they can arrest me. And, maybe the others, he's like, maybe they can find a way to bring, Peter back. He was that ready. But then along the way, part through doing the right thing and part through that Doc Ock arrogance, he realizes that he's, he made this promise to Peter and he's got to keep through. So it's just really, really well done. Wonder Woman #26. Orion is the man. Badass with a heart of steel, with a heart of gold. Heart of gold. All right. Some more tragedies or possible tragedies.
No, that's not saying that. That's just saying I don't hate it.
Say you don't hate it, quieter. We're filming. So, yeah, there's a change in status quo as Strife manages to wedge a little further between Zola and her Wonder Woman ties, or convincing her that she's a danger to what's going on. I've loved this book from the beginning of New 52, and I continue to love it. The art in this issue is by Goran Suzuka, which is fun to say. Fits perfectly with the style that has been on this book since it's come in. I like that when they've made an effort to, when they have different artists come and go on this book, they try and keep so it's not like, certain style, certain style, certain style. Alex Ross, certain style, certain style, certain style. Umberto Ramos, certain style, certain style, certain style. European painted, what? I like the consistencies within the inconsistencies. So this has been really well done. Harley Quinn #1. I like this so much more than I thought I was going to. And it's Connor and Palmiotti. And I'll read anything Palmiotti writes, and I'll read anything that Amanda Connor touches. So I guess that means I read Jimmy Palmiotti. Weird. But this was so well done. I liked the first issue, but I didn't love it because I'm not a big fan of the. I don't really like fourth wall breaking within. I like it in books where that's just what they're going to do, but I don't like it within my mainstream comic universe. Like, I don't want my comic characters to know. And they said, that they weren't going to know, that wasn't going to be the style of the book. That was just for the #0, just to have some fun. And it was a lot of fun. But this gets back, back to basics. Harley gets a dachshund, looks just like my dachshund. Though that's not the part of a motorcycle you want to sit a dog on while you're riding. That part gets really hot. I burned myself when I was a kid touching that. Don't sit your... It's a dachshund, so I'm going to make this joke. Don't sit your wiener on the engine cover. That's not good. But the art in this is just gorgeous. Right, Chad Harden, we already knew. But his Harley is a little more angular than I'm used to Harley's face looking. A little more cheekbone than the soft little Cupid face. But it really works. It's good. And the art, that dog's faces. This strange stuffed taxidermied beaver that only she can hear, not because it actually talks, but because she's nuts. So that's the thing. There's like a Glenn Danzig guy that that's all. Like he looks like Glenn Danzig, but he talks like Jimmy Palmiotti is what he talks like. So ultimately, you've got if Amanda Connor was Harley and Jimmy Palmiotti was her sidekick Glenn Danzig, which is a premise that right there alone I'm in. But this was so funny. and so much. And it's not just like you say funny, and I know half the world goes, "Oh, it's a funny comic. I don't want to read it. It's just fun." Oh. No, it's the best of both. It's like it's the Hannah Montana of Harley Quinn. It's the best of both. That was the theme song. I have two little girls. Leave me alone. I know these things. But no, it's funny. It's ridiculous. It's serious. It's dark. Or at least don't mean that. Don't go thinking that this is funny, cutesy. No, this is She says she's gonna knock someone's block off. She actually knocks his head off. It's literal, all right, and messy. There is a cameo appearance on the first page. Here, Magic Hands, if you can focus in just under that top panel. There's a cameo appearance by Harley's original hood and mask. So there is that. It's at least acknowledged that Harley Quinn once dressed like a jester. No, once dressed like a jester. So good, so great. But you knew it would be because it's Harley Quinn and it's Palmiani and Connor, and the chemistry between it. They got some chemistry. It's almost like they're married or something. Pretty Deadly by Kelly Sue DeConnick and Emma Rios, number 3. Still so good, still so gorgeous, and I'm starting to get it because this issue explains some backstory for some of our characters, and now I may not be the fastest boat in the harbor, but I get there in the end. That's Red Dwarf reference, if you're not sure. That's my Holly. Hello. Everybody's Dad Dave. So my cameraman's Dave, so that works on like multiple levels. See, I'm getting better. I'm doing exactly what I said I don't like in comics. I'm breaking, I don't know, it's even like a 5th wall, because I'm not talking, well, I'm always talking to you guys. I'm always breaking the 4th wall. That's its whole show. But the 5th wall is now I'm talking to the cameraman behind you. So if you turn around, there's a huge, hairy cameraman behind you. So don't turn around. Uh-oh. Derek Commissar's in town. Oh, uh-oh. Really, really good. Gorgeous. Fun to look at. Great to read. And now starting to make sense to the slow kids in the back. That's me. That's me. So, read that. Mixed emotions. I love Tony Bedard, and this is a great read. I will say that even in the regular Superman books, and this isn't Tony's fault. Sorry, Tony. They gave you toys I don't like. I'm not even talking about Lobo yet. I'll get there. I don't like this scientist, alien specialist, whatever the hell she is, chick. What the hell's her name? I don't remember. Dr. Veritas. All right, So Dr. Truth. Truth be told, I don't like her, and they use her a lot as like she may as well be like Dr. Deus Ex Machina, who got her degree at MacGuffin University. It's just I don't like her. I don't do it. The story wise, it's good. It's a nice solid voice for Supergirl, so I was happy with that. And Skinny Lobo is pissed that real Lobo isn't on Earth because he's off doing the Stormwatch thing, and Stormwatch went cosmic and whatever, right? I will say, I've never wanted a last page to stick more than ever with this particular issue. I know the story doesn't end there, but I want it to. I want this to be the last part of this. Oh well, and that's how it ended. The end. Because let me tell you, I know people are very up in arms over Skinny Lobo, but my problem with him isn't the change. They've changed so many things in the New 52, and they'll give you all their reasons, but a lot of their changes seem to be just changes for the sake of, well, I'm going to do it different. All right, this new Lobo, that's not the change that bothers me. He actually looks similar to, closer to his earlier appearances in like Omega Men, and even the first Maguire time he drew him in the Justice League International, those covers with him and Guy Gardner switching spots as they beat each other up. So I don't have problems with that per se. What I do have problems with is, all right, the rest of the New 52 got rebooted. Got it? They rebooted. Okay, happy or not, this is the way it is. It's fine. New 52 Lobo, they didn't when they rebooted Lobo, he was still Lobo. Sure, they did some horrible things like letting Rob Liefeld have him, but nonetheless, he was still Lobo. Now, they've still left original Lobo in the DCU, and are now having another Lobo show up and say, oh, we're not changing it. Your Lobo was always there, but your Lobo, the Lobo that has been beloved, I don't really know why, but he has been beloved for, like, decades now. He still exists, but he's the fraud, and this new guy... That's the part that I think, that's the insult to injury. You change the entire DCU, but you didn't leave like, oh, here's old Booster Gold, and here's new Booster Gold saying, you're not him. Here's old Superman, and, Superman without undies on the outside comes and kicks his ass and says, you're an imposter. No, you just rebooted. This is the only one where you said, oh, here's the original character, almost exactly the way you left him, and you loved him, and now we're going to have this other guy show up and say, I'm really him. Ha 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 ha. And that's the insult to injury that I think makes this harder to deal with. But again, that Lobo aside, story-wise, because I can look past the parts. It hurts sometimes, but I can do it. Because I have to grade essays written by horrible writers. And sometimes, I read some horrible essays. So I can get past to find the components and judge it, not, what did you write about? Oh, dear God. No, I can look at, you wrote really well. Your subject matter requires a therapist. All right? So I can get past that kind of stuff. So, Imposter Lobo aside, and even Dr. Veritas, who I just don't like, it's well written, it's very strong, and I'm curious when she's going to go the Red Lantern route, but it's Tony Bedard, and he is a writer I have faith in. He can write the hell out of anything. I get very loyal to my writers. As a general rule, editors like to put my favorite writers on my least favorite things. Like, oh, okay, we're going to do Tony Bedard. Hey, I like Tony Bedard. On Supergirl. Hey, I like Supergirl. We're going to start them out with fake Lobo. So they just like to... I can't win 100%, but I'll take my wins. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And Tony Bedard on Supergirl equals really good. Vibe is over, and I'm the only one who cares. My review is, I loved this, and it really set it up. It, ends with, I don't know, I believe this is the last issue. It doesn't give you any fanfare that says, last issue. So I don't know if there's, for some reason in my head, I thought it went to number 12. But it may just kind of fizzle out at number 10. Literally fizzling out, because on this page it says, fizzash, which is a fizzle on its way out. But it really sets up a nice, because if you haven't been reading this, I hate Vibe. Fuck you. If you can bitch and moan about the characters that they changed, that, I love that character, but they changed him, but I'm still going to buy it, then why can't you assume that if they can take your favorite character and make them suck, why can't you assume they can take a character you hated and make them great? Because the only reason this is getting canceled is because it didn't sell. The only reason it didn't sell is because people went, Vibe, I'm not even giving it a shot. And it's been really good, and you're all fools. Grr. I'm on the attack now. I'm grr. Grr. So, this was really good, and now it's over. And you won't believe me anyway that it was really good. So, ouch. I'm not going to review it any further than that. You've had your say. Good day, sir. You get nothing. All new X-Men number 20. Really, really good. I don't know what, I think at one point, forget the broken timeline, I think at one point, all the X-Men should just be like, and implode and come out as new, slightly tweaked characters. They should have their own reboot. Because at this point, if you've got, Angel and Beast fighting for the affection of Jean Grey, who's mostly giving attention to Beast, and Angel's getting bitter and jealous. Meanwhile, Cyclops goes, and of all things, while in their grown-up modern-day versions, Cyclops and Wolverine hate each other. But young Cyclops has a massive crush. And this doesn't just happen on the cover. There's actual smoochification on the inside. Well, huggification. We'll go with huggification. No real smooch. But original Cyclops, kid Cyclops, has a huge crush on X-23, who is just she's a female clone of Wolverine. It's just, so you got Wolverine and Cyclops over here going, we'll fight, and over here you got Wolverine and Wolverette and Cyclops going, we'll smooch. I think they should do that in front of the other two. You killed Charlie. You killed Chuck, bub. You don't know what you're doing, Wolverine. Just smooch it, smooch. I just want a panel of Wolverine and Cyclops going, what? Yeah, I think that'd be a hit. But yeah, this is really good. I like seeing the role reversal of Kitty going from the youngest on an X team to the original X-Men are the kids, and Kitty is the professor. And even though they don't use him too much of it, I get panels with Lockheed, and that makes me happy. Young Cyclops is so socially awkward. He just really is. But this is really good. I'm loving Bendis X books. Who knew? Scarlet Spider is over, and I'm sad. But Scarlet Spider will, it ends with the words, greatest words in the history of words. And those words are, see you in 2 months for the next chapter in Kane's journey in ... New Warriors #1. Best, Chris Yost. Yeah! New Warriors. I love it. Scarlet Spider and Arizali. Love it. Scarlet Spider and Arizali on New Warriors. Yeah! So, this wraps up the story of our failed hero, who's clearly not as failed as he thinks he is, because he's going to have a chance to redeem himself on the New Warriors. Or he has failed as much as he is, and his punishment is, you're a New Warrior now. Could go either way. Depends on your, perspective is important. This is really, really good. It wraps up everything, and you wouldn't expect it from a book about, the evil Kane clone of Spider-Man dressing in a hand-me-down spider suit with, the deceased Ben Reilly's code name. But this has been a really good emotional ride, this book. It gets you, you really feel much like what there's a lot of similarities in this and the Superior Spider-Man, with the idea of a hero trying to live up to the Peter Parker legacy and not always doing it right. The difference being that more than Doc Ock, he acknowledges that he's not, whereas Doc Ock went out with, I'm the Superior Spider-Man, he'll say outright, he says they don't realize I'm not a hero, I'm just Spider-Man's shadow. All right, so it's like the opposite ends of the same coin of, I'm better than Spider-Man and I'll be a hero the way he could never be, and I'm not Spider-Man, I can't do what he does, but I'm gonna try, and I just keep fucking it up. So it's a nice little juxtaposition, and I really liked it, and I'm sad to see it end, but I'm glad that the journey will continue. Also, I love David Baldeon, how you say his name, as an artist. I love that guy. I just do. Itty Bitty Hellboy is also over, but it was awesome and made me laugh. And it did. Alright, so Hellboy has Baba Yaga in it. So Itty Bitty Hellboy has Baba Yaga in it. So they're planning a party for Abe Sapien's little sister, Eve. Well, it can happen. Abe can have a sister. Why not? But the most important thing for Hellboy for this party is hot sauce. He wants hot sauce, and he keeps asking, Baba's going, right? And it turns out what he wants the hot sauce for is, Baba Yaga's hut has chicken legs. So, Hellboy is just dumping hot sauce on the chicken legs and trying to eat them. But Baba Yaga doesn't take kindly to that, and there's some transformations and wackiness ensues. There's also a lot of hanging out without your underwear on in the bushes, because a lot of Itty Bitty Hellboy has been about things you can do without underwear. In just this. Forever Evil Rogues Rebellion is the best of the Forever Evil crossovers. I'm actually gonna get the trade on this one. I love it. This is the best thing to come out. I haven't been the biggest fan of the New 52 Flash. This has been great. And the Flash Rogues going up against the Bat Rogues has been, you know, this issue they had to deal with Poison Ivy, who gets the drop on them because if you're a stupid little kid like Trickster, yeah, you're gonna run up and smooch Poison Ivy too. But there's a reason her name is Poison Ivy, and he's just clearly he didn't think that through. But then you get, you know, they're fighting man-bats, and they end up, you know, hitting an ice wall, and they're like, does that mean what I think it means? Cold? And they're all excited because they've been separated from Captain Cold because he's over in Forever Evil. And like, no, I'm quite more than cold. And it's, you know, it's Mr. Freeze, and he's all just, you know, and their faces are like, ah, crap. You know, Mirror Master's like, but this has been really, really good. It's fun. It's, you know, there's a great, it's Heatwave and Mirror Master go off on a little side quest here, and there's some great moments of, you know, Heatwave doubting any of this and thinking, you know, it's time to get out, and Mirror Master being like a, you know, stepping up and, you know, and filling the leader role without even knowing he's doing it. In fact, at one point Mirror Master says to him, you know, Heatwave says to him, whatever, you're in charge, I'm just, you know, I just do what you do. He goes, I never said I was in charge, what are you talking about? But he's just a natural leader, and he has that, you know, this is what we do, we're the rogues, you know, we don't want to rule the world, and we help people. You know, we're bad. You know, we're criminals, yes, but we're not bad guys. You know, and it is a nice difference, and this is really well done. Batman and Two-Face. It's good. I gotta say, I don't fully understand. You know, it's not just this. There's, you know, it's the whole. This Erin girl, this Erin assassin lady, mobster family chick. I don't know why a guy so violently opposed to all forms of crime constantly falls for serious, unrepentant criminal women. This mobster girl that he knew from elementary school, weak spot. Catwoman, doing it on rooftops in the beginning of the New 52. Leave the mask on. Swear to me. And then, you know, even you know, I don't know. Leader of Assassin Guild, Daughters of Immortal Assassins, you know, he's like, crime must end. Criminals are cowardly and superstitious and hot. They're really hot. Criminals are hot. Yeah. Apparently that's it. Is you know, my parents were murdered. I don't like guns. League of Assassins, meh, I can overlook that. You know, he just goes for, you know. Oh, you know, so it's good, but I'm just baffled by that concept. X-Men. This is the X-Women X-Men. It's good. It's been strong. Brian Wood has been writing really well on this. Terry Dodson and Barry Kitson, two very, very different art styles that just complement each other really well. And then, yeah, it's got Jubilee and Rachel Gray, so I'm already happy. They've thrown in Monet, fresh off of X Factor, so I'm happy. It's got Mohawk Storm, I'm happy. It's got Psylocke, meh. I liked her better when she was British. I don't like Butterfly. I liked Butterfly Eye, Psylocke better than, you know. I'm this little sister of Captain Britain, but I'm Asian. I like my old school Psylocke, lying on the ground with Alan Davis art and kind of flirting with Cypher. Yeah, that happened. Cypher got that. Because he can speak any language. Talking, writing. And he's got Typhoid Mary as a big guy. And I like this John Sublime guy. So, really well done. And it's, you know, I'm just liking X books lately. I feel so dirty. Saga number 17. Don't go breaking my heart. I think they're breaking my heart. There is no possible good outcome for the end of this. There is. And then I just. Holy crap. This book is awesome. And yet, it is the most frustrating comic I've ever read. Because every so many pages, you just have to, like, yell at it and curse the name of Brian K. Vaughan. Because he is so great at being so bad. Never Ending is really, really good. We've got, this time we get the flashback through the history. We get to see the life of our hero. I think they call him Swell Guy. And he's just wants to die, and his arch nemesis has just wanted to kill him. And he's like working with him to make that happen. And he flashes back through his life where, you know, his wife died, his son died in his arms as an old man because he doesn't age. And, you know, his granddaughter and his great-grandkids are walking away. He's at his own son's, you know, funeral going, you know, why do I even live? I've outlived, he was my baby boy, and I outlived him. What the hell's the point? And it's for a book that has such, you know, clearly stylized and cartoony art, don't let that fool you, because it's heavier. It is fun and it is funny, but it is, you know, it is served with a side of somber reality, and that's rough. Longshot saves the Marvel Universe. In this issue, he does. Longshot does exactly. Longshot saves the Marvel Universe, and the In-Betweener gets to go back to being the In-Betweener, so that happens. We see a further look at Longshot's effect. We find out how to break Deadpool out of mind control. And yes, it does involve the clever use of a taco truck. So there's that. But it was really good. So it's Longshot. So you knew it was going to be good. So that wasn't as quick as I'd hoped by any stretch of the imagination. But I feel you got your money's worth from watching this free show. So until next week. Adieu to you and you and you.